It's spring of 2022 and I'm in serious pain. I'm running, but I'm not alone. I'm with two other guys from wrestling club. I want to stop, but stopping would be humiliating. I look forward to them and they look so relaxed and chill. And I'm here with serious pain, making weird facial expressions because of my pain. But I force myself, I say, okay, go on. I keep running. I push myself, take a few more steps, even though my calves are burning. Our pulse is probably in the 200s, but I force myself to keep going. Sadly, it doesn't last long. After a few steps, I have to stop. And those two girls, out of respect, they also stop. But they don't look the slightest bit tired. They're still with nose breathing, still chilling, talking with each other, having fun about talking about some random topics and laughing with each other. While I'm here gasping for air, filled with shame and a little bit of envy, but also some motivation. What I've learned is that being worse than others or something that's meaningful to you or to the world is painful, especially as a man. I used to be really bad at running and getting destroyed. My wrestling club, we used to go on runs every Wednesday, and every Wednesday I was genuinely scared because I was so bad at running. I knew my calves were gonna burn, all those things. Even though it's just a 5K run, I used to be that bad at running. Even though I'm an athletic kid, I've always been good at sprinting, good at those things. But jogging for a long time was a big weak point of mine because of technique and also because of just endurance. I'm more of a fast sprinter, explosive guy, but I'm not especially the most gifted when it comes to endurance. But now I've become very, very good at it because of the methods I'm going to teach you right now. But I used to be so bad at running that I literally used to lie to the guys in my wrestling club that my knees were hurting when I was running, just to have an excuse to be bad. Like it was to that level. Imagine that being so bad at something that usually lead to lie, that you usually lie, that you have some kind of disadvantage to look less pathetic. But now I'm probably the best when it comes to running in my whole wrestling club, even though there are some true endurance monsters there. I've done some things to truly become good at running. I've invested the last few months to really becoming a better runner. And now I'm confidently say that I'm better than all the guys there when it comes to running endurance. And I'm pretty proud of it because something that's even better than being gifted at something, being automatically good at something, is first being extremely bad at something and then becoming amazing at the thing and impressing all the people around you. That's something I wish for everyone. I even recently ran 10 miles. Last week I ran 10 miles without stopping and it was fun. Painful but fun. I generally think everyone should run. We humans are made to run. Our ancestors, if they saw us in the actual world right now, I don't think they would be proud. People sitting around, lying down on the couches for hours and hours, sitting down for hours. Most people never tend time to exercise even a little bit, to go on short runs. Most people don't run nowadays, even though that's literally one of the basic things our bodies can do. If you have legs and they function, they can work. I genuinely think you should run on a regular basis. It's a gift that you have, and think you should use it. Running has so many health benefits. Better endurance. It literally improves the health of your heart because endurance training. If you do it with good form, it helps with posture. It helps with how you walk if you do it with good form. It helps with your mental health, even like all type of endurance training. It helps with so many things. It helps burn fat. So many benefits. I didn't want to run for a long time because firstly, my first experiences of running were bad because when I used to go run, my calves would burn so badly and I would get destroyed by the guys in my wrestling club. And I would make excuses about, oh no, I don't have enough clothes to go for runs regularly. I used to literally say that I don't have enough clothes. I was like, oh yeah, if I go runs, my clothes will get sweaty and that and that and that. Those are the type of excuses I used to make. Now, for a long time, right now I don't do it anymore. I started not doing it anymore this week. Last week I went on one run every single day. I'm the same guy who used to say I don't have enough clothes to go on runs regularly. You have enough clothes. Stop making these little excuses because a lot, like most of the time, it's just your brain trying to convince you to stay in comfort, to avoid going and do some uncomfortable shit. Your brain is not always on your side. And right now with running, there might be a lot of excuses that are popping up into your brain. You shouldn't listen to them. Your brain might make it very, very hard for you to become great at something in life. So the first thing we're going to talk about is form. My wrestling coach used to give me some, I don't blame him, but he used to give me some bad advice when it came to running. He used to tell me that to be able to run faster for longer, I need to prepare myself higher in the air, like to literally to a certain level jump, prepare myself higher to the in the air, so I'm longer in the air. I need to take less steps, and it makes it easier for me. Right now that I know more about form, I know where it's coming from, but that's some really shit advice. You're gonna waste so much more energy. I know it seems like you waste less energy. That the more steps you take, the more energy it wastes. But it's not how it works, and I only know it now. And this advice of propelling yourself high in the air to waste less energy and go further it's some shit advice. You're gonna firstly waste way more energy because you need to put so much more power into each step. And secondly, the landing phase is probably higher, like more dangerous on your joints. A lot of people don't know about what good running form is. That's why I don't blame my wrestling coach at all. I really love the guy. He's a really kind guy who can really push you when he needs to. That when it came to wrestling, he didn't know. Like when it comes to running, he didn't know much. Even though he's a good runner, but he doesn't know much about form, and I don't blame him. He didn't research about it. So the first thing is avoid overstriding. Overstriding is just landing with your foot too far forward from your body, from your center of mass. That's a mistake that a lot of people make because they think, okay, to run further and faster, I need to take bigger steps. To take bigger steps, I need to land as far forward as I can. That makes sense actually. If you don't know much about running, it makes a lot of sense. But that's not how it works. If you land too far forward, you can genuinely hurt yourself. It's genuinely dangerous for your joints, body. You can injure yourself way easier. And secondly, you won't go faster. It's like putting a brake. Imagine truly landing in front of your body mass and then kind of pulling yourself forward. If you really think about it, it takes way more time than just landing a little bit close, like just a little bit in front of your body, and then taking more steps and cycling your legs faster. That's how you should do it. Learn like a lot of people. I made some research. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert when it comes to running, but I've made some research, and a lot of people, like most, some people, like a lot of people online, are going to say try to land under your hips with your legs. But then I've seen some really smart people, some professional runners, the best runners in the world. Like I saw someone analyze the form of the best runners in the world, and they don't follow that advice. They don't land directly under their hips with their legs. The best sprinters in the world do, but long distance runners, they don't actually. Like they land a little bit in front of their body, but something they do is that they land under a flexing knee. The legs almost like straight, they're flexed, and the ankles especially land under the knee, directly under the knee, upon ground impact. So that the ankles is the front of the knee. No, it's always under, even a little bit back from the knee. That seems to be the like, maybe if you runs really slow, maybe you should land under your hips. But when you start to run fast and faster, you don't necessarily have to land directly under your hips. You can land a little bit further forward. Like I said, don't overdo it, don't overstride, and make sure to always land with your ankles under your knee. And don't also exaggerate. Don't like try to like fucking put your legs forward like this. No. Stay control with it. And one more tip, push yourself forward. Don't pull yourself forward. Push yourself. Like land a little bit close to your body, but push yourself forward. Like strike the ground in a way that propels yourself forward instead of like taking a long step and then having to pull your whole body forward like this. That's not how it works. But I would recommend you not to, don't overthink it. Don't overthink this shit. Even when it comes to form, don't make the mistake of true overthinking it too much. The part of the foot you land on is not that important. But just don't exaggerate a 4 foot landing or a heel strike. Those are the things. If you overdo it, if you like try to really land too much on your heel or too much on your toes, then you're going to some risk. Then it starts to get dangerous. I used to think that everyone should land on their 4 foot. I used to think that 4 foot landing was so much better. That it was a perfect way to run. But then, as I researched for this video and I also researched for myself, I learned that it isn't necessarily the best, and that heel striking isn't necessarily bad. It's just that if you heel strike like exaggerated, then it's dangerous. Or if you even if you 4 foot land on your 4 foot and exaggerate it, like you shouldn't land on your toes, it's as dangerous probably. Just avoid doing them while overstriding, but don't overthink it too much. I think for everyone, for most people, try to land more with your midfoot instead of maybe your heels or your 4 foot. If it genuinely feels a lot better to land on your 4 foot or your heels, then do it. But most of the people, I think, would be better off just landing more on the whole foot, like on the midfoot, but the whole foot just landing at the same time. I think probably most people would be better with it while avoiding overstriding. I remember I used to try to force literally the 4 foot landing, and it's not. Now I just allow myself to just land with the midfoot. I don't exaggerate it. I don't think I just land with the whole foot, like the midfoot, and I'm running way better now. It feels more comfortable than just force myself to land on the 4 foot. So yeah, midfoot landing is probably going to be better for most people. Another form tip is don't push your head too far forward. Like don't don't have like the nerd neck like this, like pushing your neck forward. No, try to keep your neck kind of in line with your body. Don't overthink it too much. Like I said with form, I don't like people overthinking about this shit. Push your neck and head a little bit back, so it's like a little bit under your center of mass, like your above your center of mass, and yeah, run like that. Some people give a trick that I found helpful. Make your neck long. I know it sounds weird. You cannot like elongate your neck or something, but just put your neck in a position where it's the longest you can say, and to do that you have to push your neck a little bit back. Avoid swinging your arms too much. You're not sprinting. I remember one day I'm in the bus going to school, and I see a man running. He's jogging. He's not sprinting. He's jogging, and he's moving his hand like this, literally like this. That's how he's moving his hands, even though he's jogging. He's not even going that fast. And I remember I just burst out laughing in the bus. But a lot of people make this mistake. How you move your hands is so important. That guy is just probably wasting so much energy while moving his hands like that. Remember, while jogging, you're not sprinting. You're jogging, not sprinting. Moving your hands like that is totally useless, and it's not only going to make you slower and waste so much more energy. Instead, when you're running, keep your shoulders relaxed. Don't push them up. Make them relax. And have your hands kind of, your elbow kind of flex like 90 degrees like this, like beside your body like this. And then run, let your shoulders move from side to side as you land. And stay like this, just with your elbows flexed. That's how you see all the professional runners run. I run like this. Most schools, like all good runners, run like this. And with your hands, don't be super tense with them. Relax them. I always hold them like this. My hands, they're always like this. In my elbows, close to my body, close to my side. Open up my chest so I can breathe really well. And just allow myself to move. Be totally relaxed. Relax your body, especially your shoulders, your knees, quads, and your hands. Shoulders should be totally relaxed. Don't tense them. Relax them totally. Don't, like I said again, don't overthink it too much. But just when you notice your shoulders are tense, relax them. Your knees and quads. It's really important that they're relaxed because if not, when you run faster, your heels will stick too close to the ground, which actually seems like it saves energy, but it's waste more energy than just letting your heels automatically come up because your legs are relaxed. Don't like I used to overthink too much about heel picking. A lot of people even talk, oh yeah, you should pick your heels up. Don't that's not I've made my research, and you shouldn't try to consciously pick your heels up. Have your legs, knees, your quads and knees totally relaxed, and automatically as you run faster, your heels will go up a little bit. But when you run really slow, it won't be as defined. When you run at like a 7 minute per kilometer pace, you won't even notice your heels going up. They're gonna be a little bit up, but not too much. But when you now run at a 4 minute per kilometer pace, that's when you notice that your heels are going up. And when you see those professional runners running at a 3 minute per kilometer pace, or, yeah, 3 minutes per kilometer pace, or 230 minute per kilometer pace, you see literally their heels coming up behind their butts and then coming back because they run really fast. Think of it when, for example, you're sprinting. That's how it works. And not conscious thinking, how should I pick my heels up? No. You're just trying to run as fast as possible. And automatically, it's like a byproduct of you running fast. It's not like something, a technique that you should use. Those professional runners are not thinking, oh, yeah, I should pick my heels up. It's a byproduct of their running technique. Lean forward a little bit without like lean forward, but with your hips. Don't push your hips back while leaning forward. Don't like push your hip back and lean forward. Your hips should come forward with you. They should still be there. They shouldn't be pushed back and just lean your chest forward. No, lean your whole body forward, but don't overdo it. If you're running slow, that lean won't be as defined. But the faster you run, the more that lean is gonna be. You know, if you're running really slow, that lean is not going to be that defined. You're not going to be really leaning too much. You're going to be more upright. But when you run really fast, automatically, and you should also consciously think about it, really pushing your hips a little bit forward and also having your chest going forward with your hips. The faster you run, when you're running faster, lean more. I think when you kind of understand it, it will automatically come. The faster you, like I said, the faster you run, the more you should lean. But when it comes to form, I don't like to overthink it. Like I used to overthink form too much. Make research about form, trying to find that quick fix that's gonna make me so much faster. And that's just excuses to become lazy and avoid the hard, long process it takes to become great. I want to take a shortcut just by finding this quick technique that's gonna make me so much faster, but it doesn't exist. Probably if you have really shit form, when you improve some things, it probably will make you go a lot faster. But don't try to quickly find that lower trick that's gonna make you 1,000 times faster. I truly think that's just an excuse to be lazy. And lastly, make small adjustment at a time. Don't try to focus on each run on five different things. It will be so much better for you to just focus on one thing per runs. On one run, you focus on relaxing your shoulders. Until you get used to it and your shoulders are always relaxed. On the other one, you focus on having the lean forward. And you focus on it until it truly becomes habit. Focus on one thing at a time, not many different things. Now we're coming to stretching. I remember my quads used to be very, very, very tight. Very tight. Like in my wrestling club, we used to make this uncomfortable quad stretch that I still find uncomfortable, but I'm a lot better at it now. A stretch where you put your knees on the ground and then literally go back with like lean back with your upper body until your upper body, until you can't lean anymore, or your upper body, your back hits the ground. And that, if you know that stretch I'm talking about, you know it's uncomfortable as fuck. I couldn't even roll down a little bit because my quads were too tight. My quads were the tightest part of my body. And also, the rest of my body wasn't that flexible. My quads were especially tight. But I greatly improved. I've become, when it comes to my wrestling club, all the guys, I'm the most flexible guy there now. The girls, yeah, there are some girls that are still more flexible than me. But out of the guys, I'm by far the most flexible. Now when we do that quad stretch, I'm the best at it. And just improving that has helped me become a better runner, walk better. When your quads are too tight, automatically some other muscles are going to try to aid them with the movement, which is not going to be necessarily good for you. When a certain part of your body is too tight, you won't necessarily know it, but it will probably make some activities that are supposed to be normal for humans and easy for you. They're going to make these activities a little bit harder or way harder. It might be the reason why the tight quads are probably the thing that were making my form in the beginning so bad, making my form used to be truly, truly horrible. And when my quads got more flexible, I became a better runner. So truly take stretching seriously. Stretching doesn't just have benefits when it comes to running or being a good athlete. Stretching has so many health benefits. So many. I think everyone should stretch. Runner or not runner, athlete or non-athlete, everyone should stretch. Because nowadays, people are having or postures are getting worse and worse over time because we're sitting too much, lying around too much. not standing enough, not walking enough, not exercising enough. Stretching will help you um, get rid um, of those inconveniences, you can say, of those bad things. Stretching will help improve your posture. It will help you feel better, be more flexible, increase, like literally improve blood flow, having more blood, like blood flowing better into your body. I don't know how the scientific exactly, but when you really think about it, it makes sense. I heard Andrew Women talk about this, a good scientist. You should improve blood flow in your body. So you should really take stretching seriously. And I know so many guys hate stretching. I used to hate stretching so much, and I won't say that I enjoy stretching that much now. But it's gotten a lot better since I've gotten better, since I've improved, since I've gotten flexible. But I think in the beginning, you just have to take the air and stretch, especially when you don't feel like it. Stretch even though you don't feel like it. To be honest, even I miss stretches. I miss my stretches a lot. I stretch every night before going to bed. Last night, I didn't stretch. I'm gonna be totally honest. Even I don't always stretch. But at the end of the week, at least 3 times in the week, I'm gonna be stretching. And some weeks, 7 times. But to be honest, I'm not necessarily that consistent god when it comes to stretching. I know so many guys say it, but something that's gonna make stretching a lot easier for you. You don't have to hold the stretches for too long. Andrew Huberman made a podcast and I was stretching, and he said after 30 seconds of holding a stretch, there weren't any, like it made, like some people made some experiences, and um some researchers, scientists made like an experiment about stretching to see how it works. And they said that after 30 seconds of holding a static stretch, no, there were no additional benefits after that point. So you shouldn't hold each stretch for more than 30 seconds. I literally have a timer on my phone and I put 30 seconds. When it's over, I just stop. 30 seconds. It may seem short, but when you're doing some of those weird stretches when your knees are on the ground and your back is also on the ground, 30 seconds are gonna seem like 1 hour. And you also don't need that many stretches. I have like literally 6 stretches that I do. I do I hang there on my pull-up bar. It's one of the stretches because it really helps with back and the bones in your back, everything. The first stretch I do is I hang some dead hangs. Then I do a scorpion stretch. If you know it, you know it. Then I do a deep squat stretch. I sit deep into a squat. Then I stretch my hamstrings with like a stretch I don't know the name of. I can't really describe it. Then I have one stretch out stretches my inner thighs. Then I have one stretch for my quads. And yeah, that's basically it. Then I have one stretch for my hips. And yeah, that's basically it. So about six. Yeah. Stretching is so much more important. And when you get good at stretching, you become a better athlete when it comes to literally every sport. Like a lot of sports. Wrestling, I've become better at especially defending, thanks to my flexibility, getting out of some difficult situations in wrestling, become a better runner, become a better sprinter. Thanks to it, just stretch. It literally takes you 5 minutes or 2 minutes every day. Or if you want to, if you're really that lazy, 3 times a week. I've become a lot more flexible by just holding my stretches for literally 30 seconds. So don't make excuses. Okay, now we're gonna talk about warm up. I'm not gonna waste your time here. Before going on runs, do some dynamic stretches. So we not just talk about stretches, but I meant static stretches. Those are the stretches you do before going to bed or after workout. Now I'm talking about the stretches that you do before workout, before a run. And those are dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches are basically stretches that you do actively, like moving your body, not just holding, but moving your body. You know, like for example, this shoulder stretch, like that's a dynamic stretch, for example. Those type of stretches. Just research dynamic stretch that you can do, stretch this before run on YouTube and just do it. And then when you have a speed workout, I'm gonna talk more about it later on. But when you have a speed workout, beforehand, go on a short run to warm up. Because those speed workout are gonna take your heart rate pretty high up, and warming up with some type of short cardio, like easy cardio, it's gonna help like um it's gonna make it like so your heart rate doesn't go super high up in the beginning, because it happens when you just go straight on a run without any warm up. On a fast run, your heart rate is gonna go through the roof, and how going on a short run before is gonna help with that. Now I'm gonna talk about breathing. When you're running slowly, when you're running really slowly, chill pace, and at an aerobic pace, when you're going on a long run or easy run, you should be able to breathe through your nose easily. And if you can, do it. If you can breathe through your nose, do it. If you can't, if you start getting a little bit faster and start to get difficult to breathe only through your nose, breathe into your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And then if you're running really fast, you're on a speed workout, you're running really, really fast, your heartbeat is high, it's literally close to impossible or literally impossible to breathe to your nose, then only breathe to your mouth. But if you go on a slow run, breathe to your nose. It's healthier for you. Literally breathing to your nose is way healthier. If you when you're not running and you're just going through your life, don't breathe to your mouth. Breathe to your nose. It's way healthier for you. And even while running or just living and just existing, fill up your stomach while breathing. Don't breathe too fast, breathe slowly. Like if you're going on a short run, breathe slowly. If you're obviously running fast and it's not really possible, I will tell you to breathe slowly, you won't be able to. But when you're just going through your day-to-day life, really focus on filling up your stomach with air. Or when you even go on a short run. But even when it comes to breathing, also I don't want you to overthink too much about it while running. Don't overthink. Oh yeah, I should breathe these. Do this breathing method where I breathe for 4 seconds in and then 4 seconds out. Don't overthink it so much. It'll make the experience just worse. Now we're going to talk about easy and long runs. So I watched a video earlier this year from a YouTuber called Nick Bear, and he made a video about running. I think it was called "How to Actually Run Faster for Longer" or something like that. In that video, he gave me a trick that I didn't like at the time. It didn't sound good, and I didn't want to do it. And it was that to become a better runner, to become faster, better, run a fast 5K, just become better runner in general, you should do some easier runs. Most of the runs will be easy. That's what he said. I didn't like it. As I heard that, the second I heard it, just close the video and went to another one. It didn't sound like good advice. I just thought to myself, that's for wimps. If I want to get better at running, I should give everything I have in my body doing every single run. Now that I look back, I should have followed this fight because I would have been way better at running if I did. Now that I've followed this advice, I've become just in a few weeks a way better runner. I've seen some good improvement in a short amount of time, just thanks to this method. If I'd listened a few months ago, I would be probably even like a lot better. So listen to me when I say 80% of your runs should be easy at a low heart rate. So you might not think, oh yeah, but I want to run fast. I don't want to run marathons, super long runs. That's what I think to myself. I also want to go fast at like 5 kilometers or 2 kilometer distance. Even if, especially if you want to get faster at those 5 kilometer distances, 3 kilometer distances, you need to run slow on most of your runs. Run at a pace where your heart rate doesn't go too much up, but your heart rate is still pretty chill. When you get where you can literally still nose breathe into your nose and breathe out your nose without any to struggle. That's how most of your runs should be. Because those runs are going to build your aerobic base. Imagine aerobic base a little bit like the foundation of a building. If you don't build that aerobic base, you won't be able to build a great building. That's literally it. Your aerobic base, when you run slow to run faster, basically you're gonna start with a slow pace, maybe an 8 minutes per kilometer pace. Literally, after a few weeks, or for some people, a few days, you're gonna now run your easy runs at the 7 minute per kilometer pace with the same effort and same heartbeat. And after over time, after a few months and years, you can literally get to the level where you can run at a 5 minute per kilometer pace with the same effort that you used to run 8 minute per kilometer pace, just by building aerobic base easy runs. So you have different heart rate zones. You have literally, I think, zone one, zone two, zone three. Those easy runs should be basically kind of in zone two. In zone three, it when you train in zone three, you're training your anaerobic endurance. Anaerobic endurance is an endurance that you use for short periods, like literally 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 maximum. And you might think, okay, but I only want to build my anaerobic endurance. Even if you only want to build anaerobic endurance, it's so important to do the aerobic thing because it's going to help even reduce like how much effort you need. Like, it's going to increase how fast you have to go to get into the anaerobic side of endurance. So really hear me out when I say if you want to get faster, run slower for most of your runs. Literally. Run slow for most of your runs. Truly listen. Generally take it seriously. I'm not trying to scam you or anything. Make your research, you're gonna see it. I've made so much research. All the people, the smart people, the good runners were saying this. All of them. All the good runners were talking about this. So really take it seriously. Most of the roads should be easy. And when I say easy, it should be easy enough that you could literally breathe to your nose without even struggling that much. It should be easy enough that you could talk to someone for a whole conversation while on that run. Not like saying one word and then be having to no. Talking to them in whole sentences for the whole run. It should be that easy. And just doing that is not only gonna make you make a lot more progress than just trying to push yourself into every run. I know I come from a strength training background. I still strength train. So when I got into running, I used to think, okay, it's the same principle. If you want to get better, train for failure on every single session. It's not how it works when it comes to endurance, especially running. It's not how it works, it's very different. Strength training and running are two different things. Treat them differently, they're not the same thing. I really wish I would follow this advice earlier, but I'm highly happy also that I know it now. Research, all the smart people are going to tell you this. The best runners in the world do this. Most of their runs are at a pace where the heartbeat is really low. And then there are some speed workouts, and I'm going to talk more about this later on. Like it should be through a conversational pace. You should be able to talk with someone if someone is beside you without any problem, untrue problem. Have a full conversation with them, talking in full sentences. It should be literally like that. If you really want to test it, you can literally start talking to yourself if you're alone. I used to do this. I used to pick up my phone in the middle of the run and literally start talking, try to talk as fast as possible to know if I wasn't going too fast. And now your long run should literally be run at the same around the same pace of the easy run or even slower, probably slower than your easy short runs. The long runs is basically the longest run you run on the week. So for me, right now, I'm in a period where I'm really focused on work, so I'm only running 2 times a week, Saturday and Sunday. But last week, like I literally started doing this week. Last week my longest run was 10 miles, 16 kilometers. The longest run is basically the longest run of the week for you. And it should be run probably a little bit slower than your normal easy runs. Your easy runs should be longer than your speed workouts, of course, but run at an easy pace. But then your longers should be even longer than your easy runs. A lot like most likely probably a good 3, 5, 6 kilometers longer, or even sometimes a little bit. And you should feel like at the end of a long run or an easy run, you should feel like you could be able to run another 1, 2, 3 kilometers if you needed to. You shouldn't feel like you literally killed yourself in the run. No, you should feel like you can run a little bit further if you needed to. That's something the mistake I used to make every single run in the beginning. I would come back having literally difficulties walking. I would like walking would be hard. I needed to sit down, but I would still walk to my house. My heart would be beating so fast. That's literally how I would come back every run, and I wasn't making that much progress. I know it sounds so bad as you destroy your body on every run. It sounds so bad. It sounds so David Goggins. I know it sounds cool, but it's not the most optimal way to put your endurance. Leave those push like go easy on your easy runs, but then when your speed workouts come, because you went easy on your easy runs, you will be able to truly push yourself on those hard speed workouts. And so some more, if you can, try to increase the mileage of on your easy and long runs over time. Yes, of course, there's a limit. You can like running 200 kilometers a week is probably not that beneficial, but increase it to a certain level to your best of your capabilities. If you now start running like 10 kilometers a week because you're a beginner, try maybe next week running 12, and then not increasing it for a few weeks, and then going to 14, and then going to 16, until you get to a point where you're truly happy with your mileage. It's going to help even improve aerobic base even more as the mileage increases, and make you a better runner, strengthen your bones, strengthen your muscles. Now we're going to talk about speed workouts, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You shouldn't do these very often. You should do these literally once per week, around once per week. And the speed workouts are basically the short workouts that you do, but where you really push yourself. Those can be like the threshold workouts or 1K repeats. Like those are basically like the threshold workout. Tempo runs. And those are way harder to recover from than long and easy runs. Because I think that truly can take a toll on your body. That's why you shouldn't. That's another reason why you shouldn't do them that often. I don't believe, like, I think a lot of people over exaggerate with overtraining. That's one of the reasons you should do most of your runs easy. I think it's way harder to overtrain than people say. But it's also one of the benefits you're going to get. Maybe you're going to recover faster. Probably going to recover a little bit faster if you do most of the runs long and easy. And then so that when the speed workout comes, you're truly able to push yourself. So literally lactate threshold workouts are literally, I'm not going to tell you the scientific shit about this. Lactate threshold workouts are literally going to improve your body's ability to clear lactate. Lactate is basically this thing um, that when you run, it automatically starts to rise. And the faster you run and the more higher your heartbeat is, the more lactate is going to be found in your blood. And doing those lactate thresholds, threshold workouts, where you literally find a pace where um, the perfect pace where you're not the perfect one, but the pace where your lactate is kind of when you're kind of going into zone 3, you're still in the zone 2 heartbeat zone, but you're really close to being zone 3, it's gonna just improve your body's ability to clear lactate, to recover from hard run, to handle lactate in general. So the different speed workouts you can do is just doing some 1K repeats. I used to do this so 5 times 1K. You run 1K for at a fast pace that you told yourself you're gonna go and run, like a precise pace that you have in your head. You run 1K really fast, not really like totally pushing yourself on every single 1K, going to fail on every single 1K. You run 1K, take a 1 minute break, run 1K again, take a 1 minute break, run 1K again, take a 1 minute break, run 1K again, take a 1 minute break, run 1K again. You can do that. You can do that 3 times, you can do that 5 times. You can even do 400 meters repeats, you can do 500-meter repeats, you can do 800-meter repeats. You can just decide. Or you can do just the tempo workouts where you find a pace you could hold for 30 minutes, a pace you could hold for 30 minutes, but that would be a little bit difficult to run 30 minutes with. And yeah, that's basically like the threshold, a tempo workout. And then you could divide it into like intervals. You could do 10 minutes of holding that pace like you can only hold like you can hold for 30 minutes. Then 2 minutes of a slow jog, then 10 minutes of holding that pace again, 2 minutes of slow jog, 10 minutes of holding that pace again. Basically. So now I'm going to talk about the 80-20 rule. You should know I just talked about easy and long runs and speed workouts. 80-20 rule applies to running too. 80% of your run, around 80% of your run should be easy runs and long runs, and then 20% of your runs should be speed workouts. So even if you're running 7 times a week, I used to run 7 times a week. Even if you're running 7 times a week, you should have one speed workout. Now, if you're running 13 times a week, okay, yeah, then you have maybe 3. But if you run, even if you run 7 times a week, 5 times a week, 7 times a week, you should have one speed workout. You should always try to be follow that 80%, really 80-20 rule to a certain level. I think having one speed workout a week just works really well for most people. So yeah, I know you want to be able to run super fast every day. I want it too, but it's not how you grow optimally. It's not how you become a really fast guy, really good runner. If you really want to become a good runner, you have to follow this 80-20 rule. Run slow to get fast. I know. Even when I heard this advice, I was frustrating me. But truly, I genuinely think if you try it, you're gonna have even more fun by running because you know you're doing it optimally. And even destroying yourself on every single run. You can probably think to yourself, it's not that enjoyable. Of course, we're masculine men and we want to stay in discomfort, of course. But save your energy so that when you do the speed workout once a week, that you can truly push yourself and truly be uncomfortable. Do that. Also, push yourself really hard during your strength training workouts, of course. When you have a HIIT workout maybe once a day or something like that, push yourself really hard then. Well, if you really want to go as a runner, you need to take it seriously. I didn't in the beginning, now I understand why it's so important. So yeah, I hope this video helped you. If you got value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you shared it to people. People helped. It might help me. You can do all those weird things like the video, comment if you got value from it, something like that. And yeah, don't run away from discomfort. Chase it.